Hey y'all, this is JD's Home Improvements. I had some tech, technical difficulties uh, trying to get in, so I'm just a little bit, late here. Um, Maybe I need to set up a little bit before, so that way I can just hop right in to this YouTube live and YouTube channel. But basically, what I do is just come on here and just talk about it. Last night I wasn't home till like late. So I was going to get on here, but I didn't have the time because it was late. Um, and I didn't want to take a hook. If everybody was going to sleep or whatever, I didn't want to keep them awake. I much rather people sleep than stay awake and watch home improvements late at night. So I just didn't even bother with it, and I'm making up for it tonight. So there was no YouTube video for Wednesday night, so I'm apologizing, but I am making it up. Um, and I wrote down a list of what I'm going to be talking about within this company and business here. So make sure this phone's on vibrate. Well, no, okay, it's muted. Hopefully everybody's weekend was well, or not weekend, but week. I'll wait for everybody to hop in. I do post a lot of these YouTube lives before I go on the business YouTube, or I mean the business Facebook. So this is more reliable. Um, we did get some rain today. That was good. Helps out a lot when we have rain. Rain wise, it helps out and stuff. What you don't have to do is write stuff down. You can just talk about it. But that's what I've done here pretty much, is write down stuff. So that's what this is all about. I got 2 pages here that's going to be for tonight's YouTube live once we get some people up in here. But I just enjoy doing my YouTube. I enjoy doing a lot of this business wise and talking to everybody, giving them what they need to hear. Um, but experience, experience is also the biggest thing. You got to know what you're doing. And, I know a little bit of what I'm doing. Um, but, you also get time to, paint walls and stuff like that, um, primer, and then you do the actual deal. Because if you, I don't know how this would make sense. If you didn't use the primer, it probably, and you just used the paint, it probably wouldn't come out as good. But um, it just takes time to learn what it is, uh, business wise. So the first thing I have written down is, for the first piece of paper here, is good evening, everyone. So I put on here good evening, basically, and then uh, stay safe on jobs. All this stuff is written down, so I'm going off the paper here. So it says JD's Home Improvements. Good evening, everyone. Stay safe on jobs. Don't feel uh, rushed on jobs. Take your time on jobs. Um, I also put on here feel confident on jobs. Don't f- and you will s- get stuff done. Um, and I also put on here do not overthink. I also put on here I just love doing YouTube lives. Okay. So I just do this because I want to do it. So based on the first object in the first paper, that just makes you feel like you can do a job. Makes me feel like I can do a job, and I can, and I like to also. I didn't have this written down. I didn't really have a place to put it, but how I like to look at things is that I can feel confident and do anything that I put my mind to. So, like if I can't do something right away, I could always watch a YouTube video on how to do it, and then I can learn that step, like from moving forward and and stuff. But you just want to feel like you're feeling confident and you can get something done. You don't want to feel like I said, you don't want to overthink, because then if you overthink, your mind might be, you know, your you might be really overthinking, and then your mind could be somewhere else. Um, so you just want to not overthink. Just like I say, feel confident on jobs, and stay safe. Meaning, you know, just do what you can, and stuff like that. Especially if you're remodeling pools. I was with a family member yesterday, helping them remodel a pool, and I took stuff to the truck, loaded the truck up, took stuff out of the van, this, that, and the other. Um, and I kept telling that guy that I was with, which was a family member, Chris Urich. I told him just feel confident and you'll get a job done. We did two pools that day, which was yesterday. Um, he what he does is he remodels the pools, cleans them, pressure washes, and use the acid washing, and just makes everything look good. And then from that moving forward, that is not in my, it wasn't in my books, but I did wear my JD's Home Improvement, business shirt that day that I went with him. Um, that just, helps me. Um, so that's just based on the first piece of paper that I had written down here. So, and you just got to feel confident. You can't feel, like I said, you can't feel rush. Um, and stuff like that. Now, moving on to the second page, because I have two pages here um, written. Again, I have JD's Home Improvements. Um, yeah. So on the second page, moving forward from the second page, I got from onto the second paper here. I got JD's Home Improvements. You can Uh, and trying here. I'm trying. Oh, you. Uh, so yeah, that's just based on the second page here. Um, so there's 2 pages, which I'm not. I'll go over the first page and go over the second page once there's more people that are in, watching. But with that being said, you you want to feel confident that you can actually get something done, but you also don't want to feel obligated to feel rushed. So, um, so basically, I got 2 pieces of paper here that have what I do and stuff like that, which I'll go over them again, just so that way people can really, really, think about what they could be doing for a living. Not saying that you can't do something for a living because I don't, disagree. Anybody can do something. Anybody can do a career. Anybody can do a business. Nothing, because you guys can actually, I can see and visualize that people can actually work. Um, but with that being said, I have JD's Home Improvements. Good evening, everyone. Stay safe on jobs. Uh, do uh, do not feel rushed. Do not or do not feel rushed uh, on jobs. Take your or take your time on jobs. Feel comp- competent that on jobs, and you will get stuff done. Do not overthink. I just love doing my YouTube live. So I don't just do this for nothing. That's just the first page that I've written down with a pen. Um, and then the second page it says right here, JD's Home Improvements. You can you can you can take call cash or card. So you can take cash or card. Because that I'm not going to say you can't. You can. I am. I'm taking both. I'm taking cash, or Cash App on a card. So people can do card, Cash App, because they can put it on your Cash App card. And you can also do cash where you're getting paid with in pocket. So that's what I have on here. Um, when you do a job, uh, be patient. It is all it takes. So be patient. That's all it takes, is what I have. When you do a job, be patient. All it takes. So that's, basically patience is all it takes. Um, because if you rush through a job or whatever, it's just gonna take your mind away your whole day. So just don't overthink. Just be patient. That's just what I say. You know, um, and then the other thing I have on here, when you can not rush this, or you cannot rush things. So yeah, you just can't rush things, um, and stuff like that. And then I also have on here, you can help customers and family. Uh, make business cards or flyers and hand them out. You will get business if you do so. So that's basically what I have written down here. Um, make business cards. You will get business if you do so. Because and that's one thing that I'm working on right now is getting business cards and flyers, and and the kind of flyers that I'm talking about is that you can put by stop signs or whatever, and when people drive by, there's your name and number. They can think about calling you, contact you, this, that, and the other thing. If they have, and then business cards, you can just hand them out to people, and stuff like that. But a big flyer is what you probably want to use if so people can drive and look and this, that, and the other. And then, so that's all it takes right there. It's just, time. You can't, like I say on here, you cannot rush things. And it just, time is all it takes, and you will get business. Um, God will actually lend business to you if you ask Him in prayer. And, if you take it to prayer, if you guys go to church or whatever, you can ask that preacher, hey, can you pray with me? Can you do this? Can you do that? It's all that it takes. If you just do that, it will go through. Um, but like I say, last night I was going to do my live, but I didn't get home until late last night, so I wasn't able to get on here. And I much rather people have sleep than be up all night watching, JD's Home Improvements and this, that, and the other thing. Um, so yeah, these two things you want to follow up with. That's all that it takes, and you can actually do what you can on a job, but you also want to feel, like I say, confident. I do almost every day. When I wake up, from the time that I wake up and get on this computer and do paperwork, I feel confident that I can get something done, because I've prayed about it. I've asked the Lord about it, and Lord will hand it to you. He'll answer your prayer. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. He will answer your prayer. He will do what you ask him. Um, so just, like I say on this, you want to do what you can. I just went over this because I want you guys to be able to understand that the Lord has been good to us. And if you take this, what I just read, if you take this to the good Lord, if you go to church and you go to the God's house and you take something like this to the God, and you pray about it, He'll touch you and answer your prayer and give you a bunch of work. Um, when I was lawn caring and stuff like that, mowing the yard, I didn't pray about that. People called me right off of there because they realized that I was trying to make some good money and decent money, and so they called me to do their yard. This is totally different. You take this right here to your preacher, and he reads over this and he prays about it. God will answer your prayer within a heartbeat. Um, my salvation is nothing but laid on the church and on the church's house. That's nothing. I can't share what the God, answered to me, because that's between me and the God, you know. Um, if Jesus, that's the same as Jesus answered a prayer and spoke back to me. I couldn't share what Jesus shared to me because that's in between me and Jesus. But, if you take something like I'm telling you to the God and to the Lord, into the Lord's house, and the preacher talks to you and prays over it, he'll answer you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you that he won't answer you, because he does. He seeks in. Even if you have a Bible or whatever, you can seek into that Bible and read over it, and he'll answer that from there. Even if you go to bed at night, you close your eyes and hold your hands like this, God will answer your prayer. That's just something that all people need to seek into is the Bible. Because and all you really got to do for your salvation is believe. Um, I'm not here to save people's lives tonight. I'm just here to tell you that business is good. If you can get it going and do what you got to do, it could be better than what it could be now. So, but you got to do what you got to do in order to get the business going that you need, you know. But like I say, you get the business cards, get your flyers, and all it takes is business to pop when you get that stuff going. And I'm working on that myself. But this isn't just a goodbye and let's leave. That's not what this is tonight. This is what people have to understand that business is what I want to do. All I ever want to do is work. I don't want to just keep changing careers. I'm hoping that this business that I'm in now starts from here on in. After I get these business cards, hand them out, make the flyers that I can put, and people drive by and look out, that and it says what I do. That would be just a blessing right there. You know, it's just a whole lot easier if I do that and then print it out. But then you what you want is for the business cards to say is what you do. You don't want to just put anything on there that ain't true. You want to make sure it has what you do for a living on there. You know, like me, I'm gonna make sure that my business cards say what I do, like cleaning ceiling fans, uh, taking like a microwave that's old out to roadside and putting the new one in, fixing door hinges, small repairs, this, that, and the other. I'm gonna make sure that the business card says all that, so that way, and my number's on there, so that way people can call and that and the other. And so it's gonna be what it is. And then you want to make sure that it's in that category that you're going to wind up doing, because as of right now, all it takes is one phone call and you'll have a business right there. One phone call from a customer, your business, and then if you get another phone call from a business, then you're and your customers and more customers, you're going to have a business. You're going to get money in your pocket to where you can save it and get whatever it is that you want. You know, it's just what you want to do is what you do. You want to make sure that you're getting the right amount of money that you're working for. But see, here's the thing: what I say here is what goes. Okay, I'm charging, like I say, I'm charging from hourly. So the time that I get there to do the work or whatever, and the time that I finally get finished, and those customers see that and seek that, they can pay me. I'll leave it up to the customers on how much they pay. That's hourly right there. I could be making 15 an hour. I could be making 40 an hour, but I don't see what a job is. I don't know how much that it's gonna what it's gonna I can't give you I tell a customer that calls me, I can't give you a price roughly. I charge hourly. That's the only thing. And then they'll see that I leave it up to them, and then so it is what it is, and it'll just go. And once you get that phone call that you want done and do what you want done, it'll go with that. It'll go with that flow. It'll go with the business. It'll go with you all your life because you're running that business. And picture it like this: when you run your own business, you're your own entrepreneur, you're your own boss. You go to work whenever you want. So, um, but for tomorrow's Friday, roughly. Um, if I could do a small clips on a small YouTube short, and then and tell you all how to, do stuff, and show you the tools and stuff like that. That's probably what I'll do, the basics. Just get all my tools out, gather it up in the yard, and show you what all I use. I could do that. I could get the trailer as well all rigged up and show you how I do that and hook it to the bike, this, that, and the other. Um, I'm just a local handyman that's running on a bicycle, helping people fix stuff, whatever that is that they need fixed. It ain't a big deal. You can do anything. I'm not going to sit here and be that person that tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, because a business is a business and it will stay that business if you keep taking care of that business and making it pop and bloom and this, that, and the other. That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be where it is. And I'm sitting at my desk right now. I'm no longer on a floor. I'm sitting right here at a desk right now talking about this because this is my office little area. Bed's over there, TV's over there. You just can't see that and visualize it when I'm in my office. So, when this is, whenever I release this YouTube live, which may be tonight, it could be tomorrow, because you never know. I'm gonna start releasing these probably on Friday. I'm probably not gonna release this one until tomorrow morning, because I want to be able to put something out on here, just to help some people out. Um, so I might write on top of this one, and then edit it, because I want people to be able to look at, you know, what I do. And, this might be the only video that I write on because all the others, are already edited and people watch them. And this one I'll probably end up, um, putting out, on a later date. Um, just a little things, nothing too big. And yeah, whenever I feel the need, I write stuff down. Some days I don't do it, but tonight it was pretty important, so I used two pieces of papers and wrote this stuff down. So if there was anything else that I needed to talk about, people can comment down in the comment section, and then tap in the chat and stuff, or type in the chat. They could do that, but Uh, there wasn't too much. There wasn't too many people in here tonight. There's only two people. But it wasn't too crazy tonight. But I know if I keep going and find things to talk about, people will come in. But my mascot's right over here by the computer. The guitar. So it's a blessing. What I could do is show you guys the desk where it's all located. But right now, I just got the paperwork on top, which I can probably store in this little shelf down here for right now, and then show it to y'all. But this is where I get most of the work done, and it is where I get the work done that I need to get done. My phone's always in my uh, 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 phone case on my belt, and then that phone it's sometimes in there. Sometimes I take it out and put it on the desk, so that way if somebody does call me, it's right there in reach. I ain't got to go reaching for it. It's right here on the desk. Um, Calendar's here. Um, Marked all the days down that I needed to get through. But there's nothing really that you can see. But I do have some paint on this phone case that I use. So, it just takes time to do what you have to do in order to do the career. And then there's the tools behind here. I got the knee pads, I got the drill, I got the pry bar, level. Up there's a carpenter's pencil. You can see that sticking out of the bag there. So, that's just the stuff that I use on a day shift, the dailies. And then outside I got a caulk gun and uh, a handsaw that you move back and forth, a hammer, and then out there in the work shed I got a ladder. So and that drill is a Craftsman. It's funny that it's in a Craftsman box. Some people might find that funny that it's in the drills of Craftsman. It's in a box like a Craftsman. So it's all good. You know it's 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 amazing on what you can do whenever it is that you're whatever it may be that you're working on, and you just want to make sure that whatever it is that you're working on, like picture frames, that it sits right and not crooked. You just want to make sure that it's sitting right, and doing the way that you need it to do, and you're not rushing through all these. Um, you just want to make sure that everything's fitting where it's at. Um, Tonight's just a slow night. Maybe I'll come back on here tomorrow, do a little short YouTube clip for y'all. Probably on a YouTube short, like a TikTok short or something, just so y'all can see that I'm just doing a daily. But before I cut this out, let me go ahead and show you right where my office is at. And stuff. Grab my computer. So basically, this is the office chair. Um, the desk is right there. Just like I say, I got everything on there. Take the trash cans there. So, um, and then my chair's there. Mascot's over there. So, um, and then and another little desk there, so I could store paperwork, whatever. But it's all pretty good, when you know for a fact what you're doing at a desk. And I could have shown this last night, the little desk, for a Wednesday night video for whenever I was up off the floor. But I did get this to where I needed it and set up, and I'm happy. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for the business. If I can just get it to where it's popping and blooming. But a lot of things that people do, they just do it themselves. But I do have a customer that's not really able to mow her grass and stuff, and I got to help her out. And I ain't got a problem with that. I just texted her today and never heard anything back, but um, she will get back to me. And then I got to figure out when we're doing this, closet build over here at the church, because I know the pastor wanted that done. But you just got to trust in like I say, you just got to trust in the Lord, and He'll give you the salvation that I have. Like I can't even share that because it's between me and the Lord now. The only person that knows about that is the preacher and the Lord, because I had shared it with the preacher. But if you guys want to see more of these, just like I say, like, share, and subscribe, and we will get down to that. But as always, you can watch more, and I will make a YouTube short tonight, um, and stuff like that. When I do get off of here, I will um, do a YouTube short for y'all, and hopefully, with that being said, people will, because like I say, it was just a short night. So I will do it. Like I say, I will do a small short tonight, a YouTube short. So I'll do that here in just a little while, and chat with y'all on there, and you guys can just look over it, and then we'll just be back over here next week. Enjoy the weekend when it comes up, and I'll see you guys Monday. I normally do like a small short, a small YouTube live on Mondays. So if you guys can pop in, that would be great. That will be on my phone. I always try to do a little small recording on my phone. I seem to get way more subscribers when I do it on my phone. So I may end up changing stuff a little bit to where I only use this and then use more of my phone. I just haven't decided yet. But stay tuned for more. I'm going to switch over to my phone and make a small little YouTube clips for everyone. And you guys can stay tuned and probably shoot over to that. I'm doing it off my phone next. So, yes, like and share and subscribe, and we'll go from there. So, all right. I guess I'll see you guys on next week sometime. Enjoy the weekend. Have a good one. JD's House Improvements out of here. Have a nice night.